Hey everybody, it's Joshua, and today I have come out to the Raleigh Comic Book Show. Now I've come to a couple of these before, they're always a really good time, but it's August 2023, so time for the Raleigh Comic Book Show again. Something I want to try to do a little differently this time is I brought some books for trade. I'm going to go around, talk maybe to some of the vendors that I've talked to before, but see if I can find out who's open to some trades. I have a pack of Immortal Hulk 1 through 11 that are really nice. And I have a few Bloodborne, like the video game series comics. So let's see if anyone's interested and see what I can get out of it. Otherwise, it's just going to be fun regardless. All right, here we go. All right, so that was pretty fun. I got to walk around, talk to some nice guys. I met one vendor who actually lives right around the corner from where I live, which is pretty cool. Hopefully I can catch up with him sometime in the future, but I was able to make a trade. I managed to trade my Immortal Hulk 1 through 11 for some cool books, and I'll show you those when I get back to the house. All right, I'm back at the house, and I definitely want to go over that wonderful experience that I had at the Raleigh Comic Book Show. Now, this is a show that happens a few times a year. It's always in the same location right off of Crabtree in Raleigh, North Carolina, close to Crabtree Valley Mall in one of the hotels up there. And I've been there 3 times now, I think, over the last year and a half. And it's just always nice. A lot of vendors. This year there were significantly more. They kind of rearranged the room to squeeze in some more guys. And everybody there is just super friendly. A lot of North Carolina vendors, some guys from a little further out of town, but just a wonderful experience overall. And I did complete my first comic book trade. But I'm not going to talk about that just yet. Let me show you the books that I grabbed otherwise. Man, I was so excited because I went in there with some books to trade and with a limited amount of cash, so I wouldn't be tempted to go crazy on anything. I think I spent a total of $12 cash in and out of that place. And for me, that is great. I'm never a big spender, but keeping on a low budget is always a plus. It was a great day for me and Uncanny X-Men books. I found all of these in mostly in $1 bin, and then I'll show you a couple that I got out of the $2 bin after this. So we got Uncanny 170, 174, 176, 177, 178, and then 218. Can I get it on there? Yeah. So that was a pretty great grab for a run of X-Men books. I think I may have already had one of those, but pulling that out for $1 just feels good. And then in the same dollar bin that I pulled those out of, there were a couple of Spider-Man books. No big deal, but this was nice. This is an older Amazing Spider-Man 221. And then this really neat book from 1975. This is Giant Size Spider-Man, number 6, guest starring the Human Torch. So I'm looking forward actually to working on cleaning this one and getting a fresh bag. I think it'll shine real nice. But that was pretty cool. For a dollar bin, that was awesome. And then I walked around. I was trying to talk to different vendors to see who might be interested in my trade. And one of the guys I talked to was really nice, but he wasn't really interested in the books that I had. But he had a pretty cool, he had some nice $10 bins, had some nice $2 bins. And from there, I grabbed this one, X-Men 179. It's the first appearance of Leech. And I got this Catwoman #1 variant. It's an Art Germ. If you watch my videos, you'll probably see that I like Art Germ covers, and this one's just beautiful. Wonderful Catwoman cover. All right, let's get to talking about this trade. I went in with 2 things. I had a run of Immortal Hulk 1 through 11. Asterisk there, number 2 is the second print. But all those books have some value. I was hoping if I was going to sell them raw like that, and they were in great condition, I had a number that I wanted to sell them at. And so I went into the trade with an idea of how much I wanted to get back out of moving it. I also went in, I had a little set of Bloodborne comics. They show that they have value, but everybody that I showed them to, like, those are neat. I have no idea anything about those kind of comic books, not video game comics. One guy saw it, he's like, man, I don't know anything about those comics. I played the heck out of that video game, but I don't know anything about those comics. So nobody wanted to work with me on a trade with the Bloodborns, which was a really good thing for me to learn, that if I'm going to go into a show like that, hoping to do a trade, everybody's really looking more for this kind of stuff. It's kind of a little bit older books. I had some interest in the Immortal Hulk, and I was able to trade it, but you know, those are modern, fairly obvious keys, particularly the #1. So I learned a lesson there. Don't go in with obscure-ish books hoping to do a trade in a general show like that. Maybe a bigger show, who knows? I don't know. But that was a cool learning for me. So I had those Immortal Hulk ones, 1 through 11. And I went over to a booth of some guys that I bought from before. It was Geeks out of Greenville, North Carolina. Super nice guys. They run their own little mini con in Greenville every year in the spring, so hopefully I can make it out this year. I had to miss the one last year, but it was for a good reason. Anyway, talked to them, showed them my books. They were interested in the Immortal Hulk. They worked out, came up with a number that was between my target that I wanted and where I probably would have sold it low for cash. They came in kind of in the middle of there, so I was pretty happy. And they said, yeah, look on their wall, look in their bins, see what I wanted, and I did. And I was looking on their wall, and I grabbed 3 books that I was very excited for. I'll do them in numerical order, not necessarily value order. Uncanny X-Men 131. Uncanny X-Men 132. And Uncanny X-Men 213. So, I was super excited to do this trade because I'm not a huge Hulk fan. I had read Immortal Hulk even before I bought those, I think through like the Amazon Prime app. And while it was neat, it was really not my cup of tea. Nothing to get excited about. And I had bought those books at a thrift store probably a year ago. There's actually a video that I did talking about that major thrift store score. So in and out of it, from buying those books at the thrift store, tax and new bags and boards for those, I really only had invested about $20 in that set of 11 books. So here I am. I've invested $20. I was holding on to something that I didn't really want for myself, and I was able to trade it for something that I absolutely did want. These are nice keys, particularly from me. I don't have a whole lot of big boy books. I'm still working my way up, and so to do a trade like this and get some books that I really want for myself, first cameo in Mr. Sinister, first Hellfire Club, you got Emma Frost's first cover, these are huge for me, and I'm super excited to have made a purchase in one location for low, taking a good opportunity, taking care of them, finding a way to trade those up into some books that I absolutely did want. So I walked away from the Raleigh Comic Book Show super happy with a big pile of Uncanny X-Men, which is my bread and butter. I've always said, like, what do I collect? X-Men, Spider-Man. That's my wheelhouse. That's the stuff I really loved as a kid. And so now I've grown my X-Men collection in quantity, but more importantly in quality through trading up. So, two things. Trading comics, awesome. That was a wonderful first experience for me. And the second thing, Raleigh Comic Book Show. Look it up. They have a Facebook page, so you can see on there the location and the dates. The people that run it are super cool, very friendly. You're going to find good deals. You're going to find lots of nice wall books, lots of nice bins to sort through, and it is just an overall nice, fun time. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for riding along on this journey of my first big trade. And I hope that whatever your hobby is, you get out there and you do it, meet some new people, make some new friends, and have a lot of fun. I'll talk to you next time. Bye!